are going to talk about innovation in tech, and we are also going to talk about how ideas become startups. So yeah, thank you everyone. So first of all, I'm going to start with what actually drive innovation in tech before we move into how ideas turn into startups. And so with the definition I have here, innovation in technology stems from creativity and the drive to solve real-world problems. Disruptive ideas challenge the startup scope, creating new opportunities for startup and shaping careers across the global scope. So, and with the definition I have here, and innovation comes from creativity. And before we can say something is innovative, it has to be creative. And before we can say this is an innovation, it has changed something, it has changed something that exists before, which is something we are not used to, something we are not familiar with, something we don't really understand, something that is new to us, more like a new environment, a new opportunities, a new things, a new technology, something that we are not familiar with. That is when we can see something is innovative. And before we can get to that innovation, we have to be very, very creative as human being. If you look at the likes of people that are actually building something today that are actually standing out, it comes from their creativity and from startups, from solving to different problems, solutions that people are creating, and talking about different um, tools that people are building to solve our day-to-day to make our day-to-day life more easier and to make things more comfortable for us. So that is what we can say something is very, very creative. If you notice that what we have there, the key word there is creative. And before we now said, okay, we are creative enough to work on something, which is not before we cannot call it innovation, then that means that thing has actually changed something that does not exist before. So if we have a pen, for example, the way we all will be using pen to write and things like that. Someone has actually thought about it that when we are using pen, sometimes we make mistakes. Compared to when we used to use pencil, it's easy for us to use eraser to clean it up and rewrite whatever you write, right? But when we start using pen, a lot of people make mistake. Then people thought about it. How can we make sure that we are able to clean all these things? That's where Tipex, someone is innovative enough to say, okay, we should have Tipex, to be able to correct that. And even though we don't have eraser to be able to clean that mistake off, just like when we are using pencil. Someone thought about it that okay, let's find a way to do it. Now, if you yourself, people on this call, if you are able to be creative enough to think about how we can use maybe find something compared to eraser that we can use to clean whatever we've wrote down with pen, we can say that's innovation, right? Is everyone with me? Hello. I want us to really engage. Is everyone with me on this call? Okay,
Yes,
awesome.
yes,
Thanks for the
yes.
thumbs up. So that's what we can say something is innovative. So moving to from idea to startup, right? Before any idea can come, of course, before you can build a startup, it has to start from an idea, which is called the ideation stage. One thing I've noticed is that some people, that is where a lot of people used to have problem and problem with. Some people find it difficult to create an idea, and all they just want to do is that they want to they just want to pick maybe an existing idea. Maybe they see something working for someone, they just want to go and duplicate that thing. And or some people are just, and there's some people are naturally born with ideas, like different ideas keep coming in. But we get to a point where we can identify these ideas. So the idea does not just come in. We can't just sit down. Oh, this idea just come. There's a way you identify these ideas for you to can say this idea is actually a good one for startup. Then moving ahead to developing a tangible prototyping that you can use to test whatever you've built, whatever the idea is, to make sure that okay, this is something that can turn into a business. Because before you can say you want to build a startup, it's not just building the product alone. You are actually building a business, and it's something that you need to be able to and this we also have a users. It could be like a B2B users, which is business to business. It could be B2C, business to customers. It could also be B2G, which is business to government. So different ways, and it could be B2B to C, B2B, B2C to B, So it comes in different ways. So, but we have to be able to test whatever the idea is, and also validate the idea. Then of course you have to launch. But if you don't test the idea, you can't just say you want to go and launch something that you've not tested, and because that is where a lot of people will fail and things like that. So moving to that, I really want to talk about some things, the impact of innovation on startups. Can I get a volunteer here to read what I have here out?
The impact. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Who's that? That's okay, Prosper. Okay, thank you, Prosper.
Yeah. So I should read everything, yeah?
Yes, no, just start from the innovation.
How innovation drives the creation of new businesses. Innovation in the catalyst for startup creations, transforming ideas into valuable businesses. It opens doors to new technologies and solutions, enabling an entrepreneur to address unmet needs and capitalize on emerging trends, ultimately shaping careers and opportunities in the global market.
Right, thank you so much, Prosper, for that. So, and if you um, if you look at the keyword there is catalyst. For anybody that studies maybe science, maybe science, study science, which we know what catalyst is. It speeds up like the rate of chemical reaction, and what innovation here is actually, I would say, is spinning up the rate of startup creation, and also turning those ideas into viable businesses. And like I said in the other time, right, from idea to having a business. So you cannot just, if you are not the kind of person that you are not like a business type, you are not an entrepreneur, and you want to start and you have an idea of startup, I would say maybe you probably get someone that understand that is an entrepreneur to join you on the team, because one thing, the goal of a startup is to make sure that that idea turns into a viable business, such that can bring in revenues into the organizations, that can also create more opportunities. Because so I will get to the opportunities part. So it's something that is actually shaping careers and opportunities in the global market. So it's also create job opportunities and different opportunities. Your startups can create job opportunities, new job opportunities, new roles, and things like that. Your startups can also give an idea to someone to solve another problem. Because if you look at these days, a lot of people are building startup, right? But those startups also have issues in one or two ways, right? Let's look at the fintech space, for example. That's the most common one, where we are all familiar with. Starting from paystack, and things like that. The more we build startups, there are some other people that are getting ideas from these startups that already existed, because of the fact that there is a problem that they have, and they need to solve that problem. So we get to the part of where we identify all these problems and things like that. But majorly, the impact of innovation on startups is really important. So like I explained the other time, right? Innovation is something that you have to be creative about. And so if you are finding a problem, an idea to solve, you have to be able to, like, in a startup ecosystem, you have to be able to be creative enough to understand the problem of that particular understand that problem you want to solve, and understand the user market and things like that, to understand everything for you to can say that, okay, this is an innovation, and which now transform into a viable business. Moving on to the next slide. So key benefits of tech innovations, like I mentioned, opening new markets. Innovation enables businesses to reach untapped customer bases and expand globally. And innovation gives you opportunity to be able to be creative enough to look at where is no innovation at all. How can we now be creative enough to make sure that we solve this problem through innovation? Solving global challenges, technology address critical issues like climate change and health access. Those are the things that the benefits of how innovation can help us. And one thing I personally have actually been looking out for is how we can actually solve um, African problems with innovation, and how we can solve, most particularly malaria. Malaria has been a problem for like many years now, and we Africans, I would say, we have not been doing much things about it. Thanks to Big Gates Foundation, they are really, putting a lot of support to make sure that this malaria is being, we fix this malaria issue and things like that. So, innovation can come in different way. It doesn't have to be, it can come in different way basically, and innovation can be in can come to it can come from someone in the um, medical field sector, can come to the person in the agricultural sector, can come to the person in the technology space. But how can we use like technology to like solve all these problems together? So it's also job opportunities for us, in five of enough to like have a very good idea that is testable, that can turn into a very good business, then I cannot say then that's not good enough. So that's how it also contributes to our to the economy of the country. Please still let me know if you can hear me. I would like to still know if everybody can hear me and everybody's following. I need a thumbs up. Is everyone with me? Oh, thank you. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. So moving on, the journey of a moving on to the journey of a startup, transforming inspiration into a successful ventures. Yeah, can I still get another volunteer that is not prosper that can just read what I have here for me? A volunteer, please. All right, CV, right? Is it CV? I think I saw that name first. I don't know who that is. Maybe you can just CVs online. You can just unmute yourself. Yeah.
Everybody ask us to read.
Okay. I think you can just anybody that can just do that. Just unmute yourself and let's just move forward. Anybody that can just do that and can just read.
I can't say. I can't
Start
say
from.
anyone.
Oh, you can't see my screen.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can see now.
Okay, all right. Starts
So
from the startup.
the journey of a startup transforming inspiration into successful ventures. The startup journey begins with a unique idea. Through innovation and determination, entrepreneurs transform their visions and into viable businesses, navigating challenges and seizing opportunities along the way. This journey not only impacts the founders but also creates new career and economic growth.
All right. Thank you so much. Sorry, what's your name, please? Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What's the name, please?
Muidin.
All right. Thank you so much, Muhyiddin. So if you look at this, let's start from where we started from. Talking about the innovation and like the definition of innovation and how to like come up with an idea. So the journey of a startup begins with a unique idea, and this idea has to be innovative enough. And how can you get an idea that is innovative from being creative? That is how you can get an idea. That's how you can get a unique idea. But not just an idea, but you have to be able to like identify the right idea. So now, if you look at it right, a lot of us like we used to have different challenges, different different problems on our day-to-day lives. That is how people come up with the idea. What are the problems that you are facing? What are the problems that people around you are facing? what are the problems that you see coming, maybe for an organization, not even for maybe not even for individuals. So like I said the other time, you can be your startups, you might be building your idea can come from working with an organization. And so most of the based on research, most of the people, most of the successful startups um their idea comes from the organization they work with. So for example, let's say I work with Paystack, for example, and maybe I notice that there's this issue that Paystack has, and I think that there's nobody solving that problem for us. I can create my startup from that because I know it's a very big issue. But I also need to also do my research very well to be sure that other startups are also having that kind of issue. If I can that kind of problem, if I can say I want to provide solutions to that problem. So now, through innovation and determination is when you are really know that you want to like solve this problem. So it's not just I have this idea, I want to solve this problem, but there's no determination. You just want to like startup does not work that way. And like I said earlier, entrepreneurs transform their vision into viable business. When I said the other time, like even though you have an idea and you are building a startup, you need to get someone that has this entrepreneurship skills or passion for entrepreneurship to like work with you to like be able to like achieve your goals, because everything is not just about I can develop the software. I've been in that situation before. I can develop this software, I can build this, I can build that. It's not just about that. And for entrepreneurs, so everything is just not about the idea. It's just about you be able to like also deliver whatever you said you can, problem that you said you can solve, right? So navigating challenges and seizing opportunities along the way. Of course, there will be different challenges along the way that we also face. Like a lot of challenges that we also face, like a lot of blockers that might also make you feel like, do I really want to continue this thing? It could be from policy perspective, it could be from funding perspective, it could be from anyway, but you have to be able to determine that this innovation I really want to be able to like use this innovation to like solve this particular problem and all. So I've talked about how it also creates career paths and also how it contributes to the economic growth of the country. So moving forward. All right. So so let's look at these stages from idea to like startup. The first one is inspiration. Um and that's the most important thing that we also need to like get right, talking about how you can get how you can be able to like for someone to say you are innovative, you have to be creative. So that creative comes from inspiration, and those inspiration comes from problem solving. So because you've seen that problem, that is when the inspiration will come. Oh, this is this problem that this organization is having. This is this problem that people around me is having. This is this problem that this organization is having. This is this problem that government have. This is the problem that I have personally. So that is where the idea begins. But another thing is, it's not just about having the idea, it's about also validating the idea, testing the idea with potential users. But there is something between inspiration and validation that I did not add. Before you can say you want to even validate the idea, and maybe there are some ideas that it's easier for you to like maybe build a prototype and give people to test, but there are some that it costs you a lot. Maybe for example, maybe an idea that before you can even work on it, you will need an approval that will cost you like 10 million naira, for example, for you to even be able to like deploy it. you know you will need like maybe like an approval of you need to like maybe get license of 100 million, for example. So this kind of idea, you are not able, you will not be able to even test this kind of idea because you don't even have the license or the right approval to even get it running in the first place. So how do you test this thing? By talking to like the people, the potential users, by identifying the audience, your audience segmentation, making sure that you identify your customer, people that can use it, ask them questions, do a lot of research, a lot of consultation, ask people questions, people in the industry, a lot of questions, like ask questions and ask questions. These are the things that can help you validate your idea. Then you can now build a prototype, which is something that you can now give users to test. Because without users be testing. That's your MVP, minimum viable product, something that you can give people to like test about. So that is what people will now give you like as feedback. Now you've built it, but you need people to test it for you. Now, trust me, from testing, you get a lot of feedback. And if that feedback is something that you can really work on to improve the software or to improve the solution, this that you've actually to improve, yeah, to improve your solutions. So that is how you can now check and be sure that okay, are you ready for the market? Trust me, but before you can get to the market, you need a lot of support. There are some ideas that you can even maybe you can put it out there, maybe put it on Play Store, for example, maybe a simple application that you can put on Play Store. But it might get to a point whereby you might need more hands, maybe where your application is now getting more users, maybe 1,000 users, 100 users, and you need to scale up. You need to like buy more Google Cloud credits or AWS credits. You need to employ more staff for support. You need to like a lot of things are just now changing, and you need to start. That's where resources you need resources like you need funding, and this is how you need to like maybe start looking for investors. But trust me, this is not the right time to start looking for investors. You start looking for investors when you know that you validated your idea, not not at the idea stage, because at the idea stage, no, is nothing at all. Everybody has an idea, but when you know that you validated your idea, you can convince your investors that okay, this is something that they can invest in. So at that point, you can be able to like get investors and also be able to like get support. And a lot of people start a lot of startups start with bootstrapping, cell phones, funds from friends and family, things like that. Of course, you can also get friends that can probably want to invest in your startup and things like that. So it's really important that you know you look for investors. And now, how can you get investors? I'm not sure if I add this part to the slide. How can you get investors? By being in a community of where you can find investors, go for events, summits, that can help you connect you with investors, these are the ways, being part of like boot camps, accelerator programs that can, these are the kind of community where you can find investors and can get people that can also probably be, they might not even be investors, that might connect you with people that can invest in your business and things like that. So another part is scaling. So once it's established, of course, every business wants to scale, and every business wants to grow larger. But trust me, it's not every business that wants to like scale, and it's not every business that wants to go, that should grow larger. You see some startup. Let me use local business for example. Let's say supermarket for example. Probably maybe your business is actually booming in VI, but you might feel like okay, yes, because we made a lot of money in VI, let's go and let's go and build another what's it called, another office in Lekki. But building another office in Lekki might actually cost you more, and you might not even get enough revenue. So it's about the scaling is in different ways. Your scaling can just be like maybe you might just increase, maybe buy another on your organization and things like that. So also globalization and things like that. So successful startups seek to enter international markets, to enhance opportunity and also drive diversifying impact. Because you can get collaboration from different global markets, global or other successful startups outside your region or outside your country that want to collaborate with you on whatever you are working on. So these are the five stages that can help you like understand how you can bring your idea to a startup. Sorry, is everyone still with me, please?
With you, we are with
Uh,
you.
all right, thank you. All right, that's good. So moving on to the next slide. So this transformative power of innovation. I also need someone, a volunteer, that is not a new volunteer basically that can read what I have here for me. A volunteer, please. All right, is that Kenneth or KN? Um, okay, Kingdom Nice. Thank you.
The transformative power of innovation. How tech innovation creates new job opportunities globally. Innovation in technology not only fuels startup growth but also open new career avenues as industries evolve. Emerging roles demand unique skill sets, enabling professionals to strive in a dynamic job landscape driven by entrepreneurial spirit and technological advancement.
All right, thank you so much, Kingdom Nice. So I've said something related to this, right? The other time, how innovation actually helps create new job opportunities, and how it also help the economic growth of the country, right? So the more you innovate, the more you see that there is need for some particular skill sets, and also how people can also develop some particular skill sets on the go, and that's how people move up in their career. You see how someone in like from like a someone is software engineer, then you now see new roles that will start coming, SRA, software reliability engineer, different ways. Those are what innovation will help us be able to like achieve, and trust me, all this data science, data analysis and visualization, trust me, 10 years ago, I'm not sure, I'm not sure I've started hearing about it 10 years ago, right? But these are what innovations have actually gave birth to because of how people now demand for those specific skills, and how from problem solving we're able to like identify that there is actually a need for this particular skill, and you can also build your career in that particular in that part with that particular skills. Those are the things that also innovation can help us do. And with your startup, whichever idea that you have, trust me, you can open new career opportunities from whatever startup that you are building, and open opportunities for other people, and also help other people develop unique skill sets that can help them become more professional. All right. Um, yeah, moving to the next one. So just parts created by innovation, new I've mentioned new careers. Also it helps build entrepreneurial roles, creating job opportunities and also global collaboration. I've also mentioned this earlier. So what I just want to say is that it's from Steve Jobs, and if you don't know Steve Jobs, is one of the co-founder of Apple. I said innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower, shaping the future of technology and entrepreneurship in an ever evolving world. That is what I want to leave you with. And you can check more about how you can be more innovative, and how you can be able to like identify your ideas. Like I said, you identify you are able to like distinguish between ideas, or like all the ideas you have, you can be able to like understand those ideas based on the problem that you are solving. So it's not just about, oh, I just have this idea this morning, but also make sure that you test those ideas, like validate those ideas very well with the right users, understand the users, the customer that are going to be using it, and the people that you're solving that problem for, and make sure that you are able to like be able to like understand that this is something that can turn into a startup. So thank you everyone for listening to me. So for the next like 5 minutes, I just want to understand what are your thoughts on tech innovation, and and share your ideas and how it can like maybe help shape the future basically. So if you quickly, maybe based on this presentation now, you are able to like identify all the ideas you have, you are able to like identify that this particular one is something that can work, is something that is solving a particular problem, not just any idea that just came into your head, but something that you know that you can be able to like turn into a startup. So I would like to like know maybe one or two people that have been able to like I just want to hear your thoughts about the innovation and how this session has actually shaped you in understanding innovation, and how you can be inspirational with your ideas by identifying problems, and how you can be creative with it so your ideas can be very, very innovative. So just two persons. Is there anyone? I will call names because I believe everybody have been following me here. So do you guys want me to call names, or I have two people that can just volunteer to just share one or two with us based on this session? Just share. It could just be maybe you just sharing what your thoughts on tech innovation in random. All right. Now I'm going to call name. Sorry, I'm calling the name in no particular order. I can see God's will. God's will, do you have one or two things to share with us? God's will, are you there? Temitope. Sorry, can anyone hear me, please? Give a thumbs up if you can hear me. Any thumbs up if you can hear me? Thumbs up. Sorry, if you can hear me, please give thumbs up. All right. Okay. Let's just go with Kingdom Nice. Do you have anything to share? All right. I guess maybe
I
people are
don't
shy.
have anything.
All right, no problem. So thank you so much, everyone. My name is Oluwaseyi Francis Ayodele, and you can find me with Francine Soft on anywhere on social media. Thank you, everyone, and thank to our host, Mr. Banji. Thank you so much for inviting me. We can't hear you. I think you are still muted. If you can, if you're talking, I think. Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
sorry, can we ask questions?
Hello guys. So I know some of you have questions. You can drop them in the chat box. I will read them out and then you will respond to it. And then if you can't drop them in the chat box, just signify, then I'll call you in particular order, right? So once again, thank you, Mr. Sheyi, for for your time and for that insightful presentation. I was expecting a lot of them to have one or two things to say. Maybe maybe some people are shy. I don't know. All right. Yeah, I mean, you've heard it all from him, right? If you have any idea, you have to, validate your idea before you build it. Validate with potential users who are going to, that you are trying to solve this problem for, right? Because any idea is solving a problem. So if your idea is not solving a problem, then you don't have any, there's no reason why that idea should be, developed anyway, right? So without wasting much of our time, we go to the Q&A section so that we don't keep our guests waiting here, right? I believe we have so many other engagements to get on. So if you have any question, either you drop it in the chat box or you raise your hand, then I'll call according to our, in particular order anyway. So the first hand I'm seeing up here is Prosper. All right, Prosper, the floor is yours. Go ahead and ask your question.
Oh, all right, and thank you, Mr. Banji. Also, thank you very much, Mr. Oluwaseyi Francis Adela. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate everything you said so far. You mentioned something that before you get to investors, or before you think of reaching out to investors, that the idea is not just enough, that you have to validate it validate your idea first. So I want to know, like, to what extent of validation are we looking at, or am I looking at? So if I have the idea, I've written the wireframe, I've write down my thoughts, I've done some few word-to-word questioning, did some little survey, and now I decided to write the wireframe, maybe on a book or Notion. What point do I go to meet an investor? Like, at what point? Like, what's the full extent of my validation before I can go and meet this investor and be like, okay, I need your help financially to be able to push this product to the market. Thank you very much.
So like I said, right, I will tell you like the key documents that I think you need to have. The first thing is understanding your audience, and because if you don't understand your audience, it's something that it will be hard for you to communicate to them, because everybody cannot be your user. In terms of everybody cannot be your user, and you have to be able to like understand your user. So you have to have a document that that shows your user segmentation. Like, are you targeting? Okay, so let's use Uber for example. Are you targeting um are you targeting how do I put it? Okay, let me put it this way. Are you targeting young adults? Are you targeting mid adults, or are you targeting old adults? So if you're targeting young adults, what is their how can you describe them? What's their behavior? What's their pain points? If you are targeting mid adults, what's their pain points? How can you understand them more better? If you are targeting old adults, professionals, how can you understand them? What's their pain points? Because the pain points of a young adult is different from a pain point of an old adult. So an Uber driver, sorry, a user that is like a, let's say an average youth. Average youth does not, the only thing an average is thinking about is the cost of Uber. Uber is very, very costly. And how can I pay 10,000 naira to go to this place? How can I pay 15,000 naira? Is that cost? That's what they want to check. But imagine someone that it's like a C-suite level, someone that is professional, a professional level, like an old adult. The only thing that person is thinking about is safety. The person does not care about the money. So these are the questions that your um your investors want to know. They want to make sure that you understand your users very well. And that's really important, because so you can develop and build the right solutions to that problem. So you understand the problem, but are you building the right solution for it? You might be building a solution, but it might not even be the right one. So I think that user is really important. Also, another thing that is very important is your competitive analysis. You need to also understand your competitors in the market. So every user has a competitor. So so I was working on an idea some time ago. So I told someone that no, this idea, I'm the only one that has this idea. He said I should tell him the idea. I told him the idea. He showed me 5 people on the spot that are doing that same thing that I did not even know about. So this was like years ago, like So like I'm not sure there is any idea that that someone has not had before, but it might just be like, okay, who is successful among them? So, and when you are doing validations, also make sure that you are picking the successful startup, because you can't use the unsuccessful startup to like validate your idea, because they too, they are still struggling, they are still building like you. So make sure that you're also looking out for successful startups. If you're building fintech, you can start looking at maybe the likes of Paystack, looking at the likes of Flutterwave, for example, but not someone beside your house that is also building a startup for airtime, you know. So it's that's how you check. You make sure that you also understand your competitive analysis. What are these people that are already winning the market? What do they have? Why is it different from what you are building? Because why would they leave a company that have been existing for 15 years? They have a very good infrastructure, enough staff, they have money, and they have the right products. Why would they leave that product and come to yours that you are still struggling to make sure that the application is stable and it's not crashing in production? So those are the things that you also have to make sure that you understand yourself, because these are the things that investors will ask you. And also make sure that you have a business plan, because that is your business. So your business plan will have everything you need, the problem statements, the solution, the market opportunity, the customer segmentation, the business model itself, the pricing, the operational. You make sure that you have all these things. And when you have that, then you can have a pitch deck. So this pitch deck is going to make sure that it's going to summarize all these things. It's more like a summary of all these things. Because when you want to talk to investor, maybe I think the first thing you ask you is that send me your pitch deck. All the people that I've talked to, the first thing that you will ask you is send me your pitch deck. So make sure that you have all those important things, because the pitch deck is important, the most important thing. But all those things that I mentioned, we make the summary of the pitch deck that you work on. So just make sure that you focus on those things, because when your investors are asking you this question, so you can be able to like answer this question on the spot, so they can be sure that this person that wants to invest in knows what he's doing and he has this determination to solve this problem. So those are the things that I would like to talk to you about. I hope this answers your question.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for that response. I believe, Prosper, you have more insight into how to go about your validating your idea now, right?
Yes, Mr. Banji, yes.
Okay, okay, all right, that's fine. Do we have any other question from anybody? Any question? If you can't say it, just type it in the chat box, and then our guest can respond to your question. Any question, any question, any question? Okay, seems like everybody's satisfied with the presentation and everybody's cool. All right, so once again, let me appreciate you for your time, Mr. Sheyi, for joining us, and we hope we can call you back, next section where you actually explicitly, walk them through how to create a pitch deck, especially for someone like Prosper who's eager to do something, yeah. So before we round up, because we are almost at the end of the program, and we don't want to spend more than an hour here. So before we close, I would like to highlight that a seminar like this, right, are not just about listening. Okay, for everybody on the call right now, I am trying to highlight that this seminar like this are not just about listening; they are about taking actions, right? If you are a student, make sure you are leveraging communities, right? Building projects and seeking opportunities, right? To apply whatever you hear now or whatever you are learning, whether you're on a bootcamp journey or you are on a self-learning journey, seminar like this opens your mind to more insight on how to go about whether your learning journey, your sojourn in the tech space, right? And then how to better seek opportunities. Because if you don't have the right insights, you might be looking for the opportunity in the wrong direction, right? And then you might even be acquiring the skills in the wrong direction, okay? So seminar like these are what opens your mind, your horizon, open your insight, open you to more insightful, ways of going about your journey in the tech space, all right? So on behalf of somebody is raising up, who is that? Muhyiddin, right? Do you have one or two things to say, or you want to ask a question? Unmute yourself, Muhyiddin. I can see your hands up. Yeah, hello, Muhyiddin. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like call an observation.
Okay.
Like once you said seminars like this are meant to be interactive, and we all should like get engaged.
Okay.
So I think you should like just take. I know you know your students, and you should take notes of some of them. Sorry.
All right. I think he's having network issue. All right. So yeah, closing remark. I'll just do a closing remark, then we can end this. I don't know, Muhyiddin, is your internet okay? If you can continue your submission, I think you wanted to say one or two things. All right. On behalf of ITskillsCenter, I want to sincerely, thank Mr. Sheyi for sharing his knowledge with us today, and also thank every one of you who has joined us and contributed to, to the discussion. Also, remember, ideas are only powerful when you act on them. Keep learning, keep building, and keep innovating. Have a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. And we look forward to seeing you at our next seminar. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.